Ooh, this is the fight, Guy. I'm Guy. In UFC 322 taking place in Madison Square Garden in New York, it's going to be a hype fest. Jack Della Maddalena, yeah, he's defending his belt against Islam Makhachev. Yeah, get a load of this guy. Former lightweight king, UFC number 2 pound-for-pound ranked fighter. It's going to be fireworks. The co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko, number 1 pound-for-pound women's fighter, taking on Zhang Weili, number 2 women's pound-for-pound fighter. In the first time of my memory, we're getting a double champ potential fight card in a male and female division. I don't remember that happening before. In the males division, we could potentially have a double champ. And in the females division, we could potentially have a double champ on the same night. It's a historic night. It's in the Garden. All right, it's going to be fireworks from start to finish. I'm breaking down every single fight on the card. I'm going to let you know who I think's going to win every one of them. Yeah, Tony, I'm telling you, I know what's going to happen here. We'll start with the very first fight on the prelims, and we'll work our way up. But before we get there, I mean, the UFC has done absolutely no job at all promoting this. Nina Drama's posted about 15 TikToks this week. That's pretty much been about it. UFC embedded. I mean, on media day today, one of the interviewers asked Zhang Weili if she thought she was going to win her super fight, once in a lifetime fight. It's a generational fight. And the interviewer asked Zhang Weili if she believes, since she was born in 1989, the year of the snake, and it's 2025, the year of the snake, if that's going to be the reason why she beats Valentina. I shit you not. That was a question from a professional reporter on Media Day of the greatest fight card of the year, a historic card.
And you were born in 1989, the year of the snake. Now here in 2025, it's the year of the snake. Once again, you're gunning to become a 2-division champion this Saturday night. So that kind of, the zodiac stuff, did you know that? Does that play into your mind at all, going into a fight like this?
他说你是1989年生的，是属蛇的，那今年正好是蛇年。
I'm not a snake. I'm horse.
Yeah, I'll put the clip behind me, but we're going to get into the full card breakdown, starting with the very first fight on the early prelims, and that is Viacheslav Borshchev taking on Matheus Camilo to open up this insane card in the Garden. Viacheslav Borshchev, we'll start with him. We'll start with what we know, and we know he kind of sucks. He's 8-6. He's probably going to get cut from the UFC if he loses this fight. He's been submitted like 2 in his last 3 fights or something like that to Chase Hooper and Terrence McKinney. His grappling isn't that great. He throws a lot of looping punches. He's not the most technical striker, but he lands when he lands, and he can cause some damage. He could take some damage for sure. But Camilo, also not the greatest grappler. He's been submitted 3 times, but he can submit. He's submitted his opponents twice, so I think he'd have more of an advantage on the ground. Also, he's younger. Does he have a slight reach advantage? It doesn't list it. Perfect. I think he'll land harder shots on Borshchev, who's taken a lot of damage recently in his last few fights. And that loss to Terrence McKinney, I know he didn't take a lot of damage, but it was just a couple months ago in August. So it's a quick turnaround for him. He's probably already in shape. Who knows if he's bringing on any injuries with him. I don't know. I'm going to go with Camilo. I don't think Borshchev's that great, and if he wins, that just means Camilo's really not that great. And we move on. We have a day. Next fight on the card, Baisangur Susurkaev. I don't know if I pronounced his name right. That is the last time I'll ever try. I'm going to call this guy Big Sus. Big Sus is taking on Eric McConico in a middleweight bout. I believe Big Sus is the biggest favorite on this entire card. He's like a -1,000. But yeah, he should finish this fight in the first or second round. He's 10-0. He's finished 9 of his 10 wins, 8 of them via knockout, 1 via submission. He's only been to the 3rd round 1 time, and that was a fight where he won the decision. Now, Eric McConico, this will be his 3rd fight in the UFC. I will say he's not that bad. He's not too shabby. All right? But he's probably going to get knocked out here. Now, this is only the 2nd time in the UFC he's actually had full preparation for a fight. His first fight against Nursultan Ruziboev, he took on like a 7 or 10 day notice. He was just, the UFC threw him a bone there, said, hey, look, you want to get in the UFC, kid? Why don't you go and fight this ruthless striker who's going to knock you out on a couple-day notice, and then we'll give you a 3-fight contract. So that's the deal with Eric McConico. I like the guy. I want to like the guy. I want him to do well, but I don't think that this is the opponent for him to make a rebound in his early UFC career. I think he's going to get knocked out here. If it does go to decision, I still think he'll lose that as well. Susurkaev does have decent grappling. He won a lot of fights in Khabib's promotion, I believe. I want to believe he fought for like Eagle MMA, one of the organizations up in Russia that Khabib has ties with. So he's got good grappling. You can count on that. He's knocking everybody out. Eric McConico seems to be the next UFC sacrificial pig, you could say, for that. We'll move on to a next fight, the women's strawweight bout here. Angela Hill, is she still ranked? Number 12, Angela Hill's taking on Fatima Kline, who's about to be ranked after this fight. Angela Hill, we love her. She's fought twice this year. Won a split decision and lost a unanimous decision to Eisman Lucindo. I forgot who she beat. Who did Angela Hill beat? It's going to bug me if I don't figure it out right now. Angela Hill in February, because she used some grappling. Ketlin Souza. Yeah, that's right. The lesbian, butch-looking girl. Yeah. Fatima Kline's going to win this fight. She's 15 years younger, 25 years old to Angela Hill's 40. I think she's about to be 41. Angela Hill coming off of a loss. When was that loss? It was Eisman Lucindo. Was that August? August 9th. Yeah, she wore a little bit of damage that fight. She took a bit of damage. Fatima Kline, I'm going to go with her. She's younger. She's going to land more powerful shots on Angela Hill. I believe their grappling's about equalized. I don't see Angela Hill trying to utilize too many takedowns here. She might see her shoot once or twice when she gets tired, but if she fails those takedown attempts, Kline punishes her especially. It's all downhill fast for Angela Hill. Angela Hill knows how to stay in a fight for 3 rounds. You got to give her that. She's fought over 33 times. This will be her 34th. I don't know why I can't English today. 34th professional fight, and she's only not been 3 rounds 8 times. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's less than 20%, something like that. I'm going to go with Kline to win a decision here. I think she'll really hurt Angela Hill. I see her just ripping roundhouse kicks to the body. I don't know why. My brain just keeps going that I think Kline is just going to rip a lot of kicks this fight and land a lot to the body, and who knows what happens from there. Maybe it takes Angela Hill down. I'm going to go with Kline to win this fight. Unanimous decision. And we'll move on to what I believe this is one of the better fights on the prelims, and there's a lot of good fights on the prelims. Pat Sabatini's taking on Chepe Mariscal. I went back and forth a few times this fight. I was actually watching tape from both of these fighters right before I'm recording here. And I wanted to go with Mariscal, but we'll start with Pat Sabatini. I think I'm going to go with him to win this fight. He's a lot better in the grappling. That's it. If he was a one-dimensional fighter, which he's pretty close to being a one-dimensional fighter, he's actually a one-dimensional fighter. It's grappling. He can strike. He'll hang in on the feet. I've seen 2 of his fights where he's hung out on the feet a little bit longer than I anticipated him to. But he does get busy in the clinch. He shoots great takedown attempts, great level changes, great single legs, switches. He's got the grappling IQ and some. Everything you need. He's a little bit chinny, though. You can catch him early. He does tend to leave some openings, which worries me. He wouldn't be a confident bet of mine. If you were betting on this fight, I would probably just bet on it to not go the distance. Pat could catch a submission, or Mariscal can finish him. Both very likely, honestly. Equally as likely, if you ask me. Mariscal, tough guy, gritty fighter. He likes to bring the dog out, right? Because the dog he's got is bigger than your dog. Pause. All right. Pause. You get what I'm saying, though. When the fight gets gritty, Chepe Mariscal shines, and that's what he's going to try to bring in this fight. He's going to try to make it a war. He's going to try to clinch up, land some dirty boxing, and maybe even shoot a takedown attempt of his own. I wouldn't recommend that against Pat Sabatini, but you never know until you go and execute a game plan how it could go in a fight. Pat Sabatini, I think he's going to be better in the clinch, and it's inevitable. I think we're going to get an early clinch in this fight. Both guys will probably keep it standing early on, but the first opportunity Pat gets to shoot a takedown, he is going to take it. And I think he'll win a decision against Chepe Mariscal, maybe 29-28. Like I said, I would not be surprised if Sabatini did get a rear naked choke finish, maybe at the end of round 2, or if Mariscal catches Pat level changing for a takedown and just puts him out right there. Maybe lands on top, deals some ground and pound, and gets to finish. But I'm going to go with Pat Sabatini to win a unanimous decision here. And we'll move on to a middleweight bout, a great middleweight bout. And that's going to be between Kyle Daukaus and Gerald Meerschaert. This is a great fight I'm excited for. Kyle's coming off of a win. Why is my computer spazzing out? Kyle Daukaus is coming off of a win. Gerald Meerschaert's coming off of a loss. He's kind of on his way out, if you ask me. I think if he loses this fight, if he gets finished here, if Kyle Daukaus finishes Gerald Meerschaert, and you can clip this, Gerald's going to retire, probably. He's going to retire. The UFC's going to cut him on Tuesday. That's my consensus. Kyle Daukaus, he's a southpaw. Gerald's a southpaw. Meerschaert does like to pump that left hand out, pump that jab. Wait, no, right hand. He's a southpaw. He likes to pump that jab out. He does have a good one, too, but typically his best strike is his jab. He doesn't have great kicks. He's not really fancy anywhere else except for on the ground. The submission is basically his only way. He's not knocking guys out. At this point, he just wants to hang out on the feet and look for his best opportunity to get you down on the ground or to clinch up or initiate any kind of grappling. However, Kyle Daukaus is not the guy to do that with. He was cut from the UFC, went on a little bit of a tear outside of the promotion, and just got re-signed for his last fight, in which he put Michel Pereira out in the first round, I believe. Did he knock him out? Yeah, he did. Couldn't remember if he submitted him. He's got 11 submissions, 2 knockouts. He's been knocked out twice. Only lost a decision twice. I'm going to go with Kyle Daukaus to win this fight. Fresher, hungrier, younger fighter. He does have the grappling IQ necessary to give him all the tools he needs to survive a mixed martial arts fight against a guy like Gerald Meerschaert, who, look, you got to give him his flowers, his all due respect. He's almost at 60 pro fights, with most of them being in the UFC. I just think he's at the tail end of his career. He's coming off of a loss very recently. When was that loss? I'm going to go with Gerald Meerschaert. I'm going to go with Kyle Daukaus. Yeah, he's coming off of a round 1 loss on August 16th from Mikel Oleksiejczuk. Absolutely, Kyle Daukaus is probably going to finish Meerschaert via KO in the second round. That's my pick. Kyle Daukaus, KO, second round. And we move on further into the prelims in an insane fight. One I went a little bit back and forth with recently this morning, I will say. But I got my pick. Malcolm Wellmaker's taking on Cody Haddon. This is a crazy bantamweight fight. Definitely a big step up in competition for Malcolm Wellmaker, who's really just been fighting bottom of the barrel sleaze bags, honestly. A little bit of a padded record, but this is not going to be part of that padded record. Malcolm Wellmaker is this going to be his third fight? Did he fight April of this summer? This is going to be his third fight of 2025. Yeah, Cameron Simon, he knocked him out in April. Then Kevin Moutinho knocked him out in June. And he's going to knock Cody Haddon out Saturday night. I'm going to go with Malcolm Wellmaker to win this fight. It's going to be gritty. Cody Haddon's tough. He's going to eat a lot of shots. I don't think Malcolm Wellmaker is going to put him out with just one flush, clean shot. He's going to have to get busy, maybe go down to the body and work his way back up. It's going to be a lot of damage in this fight. If I was going to bet on anything in this fight, I'd probably bet the over 1.5, but this fight can end at any moment. Cody Haddon's got slick grappling. I believe he's a black belt as well in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He trains with Quillan Salkeed, who's coming off of a knockout win, I believe, just last weekend or the week before. This is a very close fight. It's pretty much a coin flip, but I do lean towards Malcolm Wellmaker, 60-40%. I just think he's got better hands than Haddon. He's fast. And it only takes 1 or 2 before you're just kind of second-guessing some things and changing your game plan mid-fight. And that's not something you want to do early on against a guy like Malcolm Wellmaker. So I'm going to go with him, the young star. Slight favorite. He's like a minus 135 or something right now. I'm going to go with Malcolm Wellmaker to get a knockout win. Yeah, I think he'll knock Cody Haddon out in the first round. It's bold. It could even end the other. It could be Cody Haddon that wins a decision, but my pick is going to be Malcolm Wellmaker. I just think he's going to have a little bit too much. He's quit his full-time job. He's now trained. Just 7 months ago he was working construction, and this is the first time in a decade he He is not working a construction site in the middle of November, in the middle of the cold in the winter. He's training full time. Give me Malcolm Wellmaker via knockout.
We got to see you in here. So from there to now, how's life been?
I had some tough setbacks this year. Couple injuries that withdraw me took me out of a fight earlier in the year, and then it just been like back-to-back bad luck. I'm just grateful to be back.
We move on to a women's flyweight bout, a rematch. These two hadn't fought in the UFC before, but they fought in like Invitica or some fighting league before the UFC. Erin Blanchfield's taking on Tracy Cortez. Don't know why I did an Asian accent for that, but Tracy Cortez. Whatever. Erin Blanchfield, I like her more. They did fight before. Erin Blanchfield lost a split decision to Tracy Cortez. It was a close fight. Nothing too crazy. Tracy Cortez landed the better shots on the feet, but I just think in the time since they've met last, which was like, 6 years ago or something like that, Erin Blanchfield has gotten way better. I believe she's gotten way more better. Love that English. Than Tracy Cortez has. She's made a lot more improvements in the time since their last meeting than Tracy has. Now, Blanchfield's just a more exciting fighter. She's tough. I feel bad. You got to feel bad for her after what happened in her last bout with, God damn, what was her name? Man, what female fighter missed weight? Why I'm not on the ball today. Fuck. Is it like Macy Barber? Macy Barber! Look at me. Okay, I got no ball. No ball. Tony, I'm telling you. Yeah, Erin Blanchfield, you got to feel bad for her after Macy Barber just got a boob job and missed weight the day before the fight or something, whatever happened with that. I think she's a lot better than Tracy Cortez. I think Tracy Cortez's head's not even in the game. Not that she doesn't do a great job training or she doesn't have a skill set. She does, but she didn't even know who was fighting on the main event. And I don't believe her when she said that, but she was just like, what's Islam doing here? I saw Islam. I was like, are you headlining? She's a dumb bitch, I think. I don't like Tracy Cortez. I don't know why anybody likes her. She fights with fake eyelashes, which is crazy. You remember she got punched and her eyelash came off? She's just, I don't know. She's nasty. I don't think she's a great role model for women, for young girls. Erin Blanchfield's that role model you want your daughters looking up to a jiu-jitsu class. Erin Blanchfield's the mom that shows up to soccer practice. Erin Blanchfield will win a decision against Tracy Cortez 29-28, and they're probably going to rematch sometime in the future because the women's UFC lacks depth and storylines, and they'll be 1-1. So, move on to another exciting fight. Almost just one after the other, after the other, after the other. The Erin Blanchfield-Tracy Cortez fight isn't too exciting, but it's fun to root against somebody like Tracy Cortez. Roman Kopylov's taking on Gregory Rodriguez in a middleweight clash, surely to end before the second round finishes. Roman Kopylov, he's coming off of a loss, I believe, to Paulo Costa. Gregory Rodriguez is coming off of a win. He just fucking put Jack Hermanson out cold, I believe, with a nasty, unnecessary follow-up shot. But hey, Herb Dean should have stopped it earlier. Roman Kopylov was backing up his entire fight against Paulo Costa, who, I'd be backing up against Gregory Rodriguez before I'd be backing up against Paulo Costa. That's all I'm saying. And Costa was ripping the body kicks, landing all day, getting the better of the exchanges, landing his combinations when they would close the distance. And Gregory Rodriguez, I believe, is just a little bit more accurate, way more intimidating, and more powerful than Paulo Costa. I think he's going to go in there and finish Roman Kopylov, handing him his second straight loss in a row. Possibly officially fraud-checking the young man. I think Paulo Costa officially fraud-checked him, but this would put the stamp of approval. This is like a seal, a government seal, just stamped on fraud. Gregory Rodriguez, I think, will knock Roman Kopylov out. Even if the fight does go the distance, I don't see it going the distance without Kopylov getting hurt at some point and the fight being very close. Maybe he hurts Kopylov close at the end of the third round or the second round. He's able to recover a bit. But I'm leaning Gregory Rodriguez to get this done via knockout. Even if it doesn't end before the 15-minute timer, I think he'd win a decision. So I'm going to go Gregory Rodriguez to win. I think it'll be a great kickboxing fight. We won't see a lot of grappling. These guys are just going to go at it, and that's what the people want to see. It's going to really This is going to be a special time in the card, too, because around this time, a lot of people are really going to be funneling into the stadium in the middle of the prelims, and this is going to be a fight that a lot of people don't want to miss. So I think the crowd, the Madison Square Garden, is going to get a kick out of this clash. And we'll close out the prelims with one of the fighters who has been fraud checked this year, and that would be Bo Nickal. He's taking on Rodolfo Vieira. This is a great matchup for grappling fans, a great matchup for UFC fans if you actually love the sport, and it should be a very exciting fight. Bo Nickal, NCAA 3-time national champion, 1-time runner-up, 4-time All-American, taking on Rodolfo Vieira, world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Vieira is very tough. He's very good. He's coming off of a win against, I can't think of who. Bo Nickal isn't coming off of a win. He's coming off of that brutal loss, that fraud-checking loss that Reinier de Ridder handed to him. Rodolfo's coming off of a unanimous decision win against Tracy Gore, so nothing too crazy, not impressive at all. Now, there's probably just going to be a lot of striking this match. Bo Nickal did say on Media Day, which I watched all of today, that he would take the takedown attempts whenever they presented themselves. He would bring Vieira down to the ground. He needs to be very careful how he handles that if and when he does get Vieira down, because Vieira's got an insane guard. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's probably going to go for some leg locks, things that wrestlers aren't too keen on, speaking from experience. But yeah, I just see Bo Nickal dealing ground and pound, landing more control, and probably getting the better exchanges on the feet. He's, like I said, a 3-time national champion. He's a legitimate athlete. He's competed hundreds of times before the UFC. And I know there's a lot of adjustments to be made, and I know I did call him a fraud because everything about Bo Nickal's changed. Even in the interviews he would do before the Reinier de Ridder fight. Oh, yeah, I mean, I could see me getting Hamzat out of there in the first if I wanted to. Just him talking out of his ass. And now he's been completely humbled. Now he's just on Media Day. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm happy to be on the prelims. Prelims? Pay-per-view? I'm on the prelims? Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm a dad now. I'm going to have another kid. He's 3 months old. He's like loving life. He's been very humbled. And I think he, just that mindset. He's a champion. He's a winner. He's used to winning. He's that kid in class, if he gets a 99.5% on the test, he wants to know why he didn't get 100%. That's Bo Nickal, and I think that's how he's treated this loss, and he's ready to avenge it in the best fashion he can. So I'm going to go with Bo Nickal to win. I think there's a lot at stake, but he's the guy that can compete at that high, as long as he doesn't quit. As long as Vieira doesn't knee him once in the body and he quits like he did in the Reinier de Ridder fight, then we're good. But I'm going to go with Bo Nickal to win a decision against Rodolfo Vieira. If he subbed him, that would be crazy. We would have to have a different conversation in the recap video. We'll move on to the main card. Beneil Dariush is taking on Benoît Saint Denis. Both of these young fighters, I say young, but they're, Beneil's getting up there. Both these young fighters are coming off of wins. I love this matchup. Stylistically, they just keep getting better and better every fight we go up this card. Beneil Dariush is coming off of a split decision, or was it a unanimous decision win? Unanimous decision against Renato Moicano, a fight where Moicano looked a lot worse than we've previously seen him. It looks like he can afford to lose now. Beneil Dariush was on a little bit of a skid, but he's got his life back on track since the Renato Moicano decision win in June. UFC 317, that was the Topuria Oliveira card. Oliveira's already fought again since then. That's crazy. Benoît Saint Denis. He is coming off of a win. Man, he beat the hell out of someone. Who did he just beat the shit out of? Mauricio Ruffy. That's right, he fraud-checked Ruffy. Man, that's a big deal. Okay, BSD's a favorite in this fight. I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. I'm going with Beneil Dariush to win. I love this matchup. Benoît Saint Denis, look, they're both southpaws. I'll give you my reasons why. They're both southpaws. Benoît likes to throw that leg kick. So he's used to fighting orthodox fighters where he'll land that leg kick on the right leg. But since he's fighting a southpaw, a fellow southpaw, he's not going to be able to land that leg kick the same. He does have some great body kicks, but Beneil Dariush is a great striker, and his grappling is insane as well. Some of the best grappling exchanges. You can go back and watch their Gamrot fight. Benoît is not going to be able to ragdoll Dariush around quite like he does his previous opponents. I think Beneil Dariush is going to make Benoît pay for all the takedown attempts every time he's diving at the legs, trying to wrap his arms around his legs, pushing Beneil against the fence. I think he's going to drop some elbows, some uppercuts, deal some damage, maybe knee him on the exits, and get the better of those exchanges. I think he's better on the feet as well. Now, Beneil does tend to get caught, but man, he really fires it back. He does have a bit of a chin on him. He has been knocked out a few times. He's like 5-5, but he's fought some son of a bitch. I mean, he's fought the toughest guys in the lightweight division. Stylistically, this is a great matchup. A lot of people are going with BSD, and I wouldn't blame you. I kind of want to go with BSD. My brain's telling me BSD, but I just got this feeling that Beneil is going to do it again, and he's going to pull off a knockout win in the second round, maybe even the third round. If he's able to get the better of any of Benoît Saint Denis's takedown attempts, if he's able to sweep them, get a little bit of top control time, I think he can cut BSD up very well. People forget, man, McConico got a doctor stoppage on BSD via just too much blood in his fucking face, so they called it. And I think Beneil Dariush can do the same. I know MMA math doesn't math. Give me Dariush or give me death, and we move on to a crazy welterweight bout. Just better and better, better and better. Leon Edwards is taking on Carlos Prates. A lot on the line here. Basically, the loser of this fight's out of the welterweight title conversation in the foreseeable future. Leon Edwards is coming off of a loss to Sean Brady, I believe, who subbed him in his hometown in the second round. Carlos Prates is coming off of a win against who? Who is Carlos Prates fought last? Why am I... Lost to Gary. Jeff Neal. He knocked him out in the first round. Yeah. Okay. With 1 second left. We remember that. Carlos Prates is going to knock Leon Edwards out. Pretty confident. He's going to get it done this fight. If not, he's going to win a unanimous decision. Leon doesn't have anything for Prates. Prates, he just starts so in your face, and Leon's going to have to get Carlos Prates' respect early, which... You can't really do that if you're Leon Edwards unless you land one of those head kicks you landed with Usman 30 seconds into the fight instead of 30 seconds with the fight to be remaining, which, there is always that aspect. Leon Edwards does have that kick, but Carlos Prates, he's going to give Leon a hell of a hard time early on this fight. Leon's going to struggle to get things going. He's not going to find a lot of rhythm, and I think he's going to get hurt pretty badly in the first or second round, and Carlos is going to get the knockout win. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's got a 4-inch reach. He's hungrier. Leon just lacks personality. I don't want Leon to be... Leon had his time. It's great. Now, please just go because he really... I don't think he's significant anymore. And if Carlos Prates verifies that on Saturday with a knockout, then... I'll be right again. We move on to another insane welterweight bout. This card is stacked with top welterweight. Sean Brady is taking on Michael Morales. This is a number 2 versus number 8 high-stakes fight here. It's safe to say if Sean Brady wins this fight, he's getting the winner of Islam and JDM. Michael Morales is a scary son of a bitch. I want Sean Brady to win this fight. Obviously, I'm a Philly fan. Sean Brady's from Philly. Come on, dickhead. But Michael Morales... He just seems to put everybody to sleep he gets faced up against. He's put Gilbert Burns to sleep, and I believe that was his most recent fight in May. And I am right on that. It was really sad. Before that, he knocked out Neil Magny in the first round. Went to 2 decisions with Jake Matheus and Max Griffin. And yeah, so I think I'm going to go with Sean Brady to win this fight. I am worried. Sean Brady's a little bit slower. He's not as sharp on the feet. He's probably going to try to land some leg kicks on Michael Morales. Michael Morales is probably going to do the same thing. We're probably going to see a lot of staying on the outside, landing leg kicks, couple combinations, short combinations, and keep circling for Michael Morales. It's inevitable. I do think the fight's going to end up against the cage, or Brady's going to possibly get a beautiful time takedown attempt in on Michael and get him down. It's just, can he hold Michael down? And I believe he can. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Sean Brady to win a decision here. Honestly, if he has a lot of success in the grappling early in the fight, I think he could even find the submission. I don't think Michael Morales can sit on the ground for more than 10 total minutes in a fight, especially with Sean Brady. He's going to find the finish. So I'm going to go with Sean Brady to win via decision. However, if he does find success early, I'm not going to say a submission is impossible. We'll move on to a co-main event, generational fight, once-in-a-lifetime fight. The winner of this fight is the women's MMA GOAT, the greatest of all time. The conversation's over. Valentina Shevchenko, the number 1 women's pound-for-pound fighter, is taking on Zhang Weili, former strawweight champion, vacated her belt, moving up the number 2 ranked women's pound-for-pound fighter. This is a once-in-a-lifetime fight. You really won't get, unless they rebook this one more time, pending the outcome. It's a close fight, a split decision. Maybe it ends in a draw. Who knows? But these two names right here, this is the future of women's mixed martial arts. This is the GOAT, the greatest of our generation, the greatest of our time. Maybe we won't see a fight like this until I'm wearing diapers again. God forbid I get up to that age. But let's break this down. We'll start with Valentina Shevchenko. Man, she's had quite the run. She's had, I don't even know how many title fights, double digits. The amount of UFC title fights Valentina Shevchenko has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13! And this will be 14. Valentina Shevchenko is as experienced as they come. She's light on her feet. She hops around. It's very hard to catch her stationary, so you feel comfortable dropping shots, unloading, dealing damage. You're not going to take her down if you're Zhang Weili, the traditional sense. You're going to have to utilize a clinch, get her up against a cage, maybe trip her. But she's going to be bigger than you. She's got great kicks, great combinations. She evolves, and she makes adjustments in between rounds and tries to fill the gaps that she's missing in fights. Zhang Weili, just right behind Valentina with everything that I just said. I believe Zhang Weili is probably the greatest mixed martial artist in the UFC right now. Yeah, I think she mixes it together better than anybody. I think just being 115 pounds, think about what I said for a moment, right? Being 115 pounds, the way she's able to manipulate her body, move herself around, just with what I've seen, I do believe Zhang Weili to be one of the greatest mixed martial artists to do it, to mix it together. Now, that doesn't mean she can go up and beat the number 1 women's pound for pound right now, because Valentina Shevchenko won't make it easy. I don't see Zhang Weili kidding her on the ground. It's going to be mostly a striking match, in my opinion. A striking match that Valentina is going to dominate. They're about the same reach on the legs. Valentina has a 38-inch reach in the legs. Zhang Weili, 36. I don't know how much of that I buy. But Valentina does have about a 4 or 5-inch reach advantage on the feet. And I think that's going to be the story of this fight. I think she'll win a decision 48-47. And remain the women's champion. Now, if she loses, Zhang Weili is the greatest of all time. I mean, she's the greatest to do it. I won't. Amanda Nunes, sure, but you're in the featherweight division. It's not even a division anymore. It never really was established that well. This is the 2 most established women's divisions, you can argue, in the UFC, and that it would be very impressive. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to see that fight. But I'm going to go with Valentina Shevchenko to win a decision. A very close fight, a very entertaining fight. I think we're going to see some moments that a lot of us weren't anticipating. Maybe we see something never before done. Who knows? Insane fight. An opportunity for double champ status in the women's division. And in the main event, we're going to get the same thing, an opportunity for double champ status. Welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena is defending his welterweight title against lightweight king Islam Makhachev. Both these guys are on quite a run right now. I believe Jack is on an 18-0 run, and Islam's like 13-0 since his last loss. Obviously, both these guys coming off of wins. Jack Della Maddalena is stealing the belt from Bilal Muhammad in one of the greatest upsets of the year. And Islam Makhachev vacating the lightweight title, letting Ilya Topuria knock out Charles Oliveira in brutal fashion to take that strap. Now he's looking to do something similar, probably crotch sniff Jack Della Maddalena for 20 minutes and then maybe find a late submission in round 5. But he's trying to become double champ, something Khabib Nurmagomedov would have never have done. It's too difficult. There's too many good fighters. He wouldn't be able to have done that. But Islam's giving it a go, so you got to give him respect, give him props for that. This is going to be a great fight. This is one of the greatest fights of the year, if not the greatest matchup of the year. Jack Della Maddalena has been doing a lot of work with Craig Jones in his grappling, in his fight camp with his grappling. It seems to be doing quite the number. Volk gave him a lot of advice. They've had conversations. Volk's helping in his camp as well a bit. He's contributed. I don't know to what degree, but he's a part of it. There's a lot of resource. Look, the way MMA Guru actually mentioned something, and this is what my brain was thinking when he said this. I was going to talk about it on my video as well, but I was going to say the person who I believe gave Islam Makhachev the most trouble after Volkanovski, that first fight, debatably even more than Volkanovski did that first fight. I know Volk did bring him to a decision, but Dustin Poirier, if you go back and rewatch that fight, in that fourth round, it was not impossible. You probably had the thought, wow, what if Dustin gets this done right now? He's putting it on Islam. And those were with the yellow gloves. I'm just saying if they were the black gloves, we might have a different outcome, Tony. I don't know. Jack Della Maddalena, and MMA Guru did say this, he's a bigger, better, bullier version than Dustin. He's got better head movement. He's healthier. He's more in his prime. He's bigger. He's stronger. I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena to beat Islam Makhachev at UFC 322 in Madison Square Garden Saturday. I got Jack Della Maddalena defending his belt, shutting down Islam Makhachev, ending UFC of 2025 in a bang, leaving the MMA community absolutely stunned and blown away, questioning everything. 2026 onward, how's it going to look? Completely paving a new road of opportunity for Paramount Plus. Jack Della Maddalena is going to beat Islam Makhachev. He might even knock him out in the fourth or fifth round. I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena via knockout in the fourth round to end UFC 322 in perfect fashion, to blow the roof off of Madison Square Garden. And I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility either. But I'm going to have another video out this week, and I'm going to talk about, maybe I'll have it out tomorrow with the best bets to take. I do want to see the weigh-ins, see how some of the fighters look on the scale before you put money on them, but this is going to be an insane card. Please leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll have a cheap shots video coming out following this card. Maybe a little surprise before the card kicks off on Saturday. But that's going to do it for me. My name's Guy. This is The Fight Guy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you after this historic card. Peace.